A magnificent island paradise sits just off the shore of the Australian state of Queensland. It's a place where deserted beaches give way to tropical forests, where snorkelers enjoy ancient coral reefs, and where trees grow from the sea.
The typical Australia, the bush, the beaches, and the sun.
It's a fantasy island for those who love wildness and the wonders of nature.
How could you not be impressed with somewhere as natural and spectacular as this?
That mountain rises up in the clouds there, over 3,000 feet of this great green expanse of mountains and mangroves. It's called Hinchenbrook Island. It is Australia's largest island national park. Been a national park since 1932. Perhaps the largest island park in the world. This is my second visit to Hinchenbrook Island, and it's always worth the long flight. About 8,000 miles from San Francisco, southwest across the Pacific. The drive, 2.5 hours south from Cairns to Cardwell, and the ferry boat ride, 45 minutes to paradise. Coming back this time, I felt right at home and very comfortable. Our crew stayed in the lovely tree houses of the island's one small resort, enjoyed fine food in the open-air dining lounge, and had a perfect beach almost all to ourselves.
Just the other side of these mountains ahead of us is the Hinchenbrook Channel.
One morning, we joined a group of day trippers to Hinchenbrook.
We have the wet tropic rainforest and the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park literally side by side.
Bill Whiteman's been leading tours out here for 10 years.
The scenery is just so spectacular off this beach.
Our tour began beside mangrove forests that grow along tidal estuaries, leading to the head of a legendary trail.
Well, it would have one of the great wilderness walks of the world. The Thorsbourne Trail that runs down the eastern side of the island is just beaches and waterfalls and headlands, just stunningly beautiful.
The Thorsbourne Trail is a 2 to 5 day wilderness trek, but its rewards begin in just a few minutes. You were right. This is a great beach.
Well, this is just the beginning of the Coral Sea. It's a magnificent area.
This is Ramsay Bay Beach. It's 5 miles long and fringed by steep mountains and dense vegetation.
Mount Bowen, Nina Peak, just spectacular scenery.
And this is about as busy as it ever gets here. Ramsay Beach is usually empty, except when one of Bill's tours stops by. This is rush hour.
This is rush hour. Now, the most dangerous part of this walk's not on the island at all. It's the sun.
Bill gave some final advice to the lucky ones hiking further on the Thorsbourne Trail. Then he ushered us to the Great Barrier Reef, just off the nearby Brooks Island.
Well, some of the oldest living corals on the whole Great Barrier Reef are right here at the Brooks.
To find out for ourselves, we did a little snorkeling.
It's a green zone, it's a special marine national park, no fishing is allowed out here. You'll see all sorts of colours and types of fish as you snorkel along, and the corals themselves are really beautiful here as well.
All of this beauty in the water and above owes its very survival in many ways to a guardian angel. To find her, we departed Hinchenbrook Island. Back on the mainland, we drove a few miles into the Edmund Kennedy National Park and past the orange buckets that directed us to her house, whose doors and windows are wide open to all the creatures of the forest. The birds can fly right through.
Birds fly right through here.
And when they do, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good, yeah.
Although Margaret Thorsbourne doesn't live on Hinchenbrook Island, her heart is there. She and her late husband have devoted many decades to Hinchenbrook's protection. The Thorsbourne Trail bears their name, and they wrote a glorious book about the island.
Oh, its majesty, its wildness, its fragility, the small and delicate things, the mighty mountains, the mangrove forests. There's just so much there.
To this very day, Margaret continues her efforts to shelter Hinchenbrook Island from dangers posed by growing visitation and increased commercial development.
I think a lot of people think it's a sacred place. Some people think cathedrals are sacred, but the beautiful forests of Hinchenbrook and the whole aura of the place, we feel it's sacred and should be treated as such.
Sacred places need guardian angels, and Hinchenbrook Island is fortunate to have one, working to guard its lonely beaches, ancient forests, and colorful reefs. Nurturing nature's paradise isn't easy, but the results last for generations. Doug McConnell, News Center 4.